And we end our video with a strange reaction given by a baby while playing with her father. In the image, they are both extremely happy. The baby's attention was placed on her father, who did not stop making funny faces. However, from one moment to another, the girl's expression changed radically, as well as what she was paying so much attention to.
What am I doing?
At first, it just seems to be a distraction. However, the child's reaction is deeply striking. What distracted her? And we'll play the video again to see if you are able to detect something. Did you notice it? Did you see that white particle that crosses the image? Those are the well-known orbs, often mistaken for simple dust. But if they are true, why should we care if these things are around our house? Well, you see, for those who do not know the concept, an orb is a trail of a spirit. In fact, in certain occult books, it is indicated that orbs are the projection of beings from other dimensions in ours, just as our shadow in 2 dimensions is the projection of an object in 3. A round orb is 3 dimensions in the projection of something in the 4th. Is this what was captured on camera? An entity that they say can only be seen by cameras. However, I never thought that children could see it, and especially feel its presence. The mind returns before the orb passes. Does that mean she saw the real body and the camera only captured their trail? The following footage corresponds to a disturbing situation that a woman recorded when she was walking down some stairs with her son. On several occasions, the minor told her that he had an imaginary friend. Many times she saw him talking alone in the yard of their home and through the hallways of the house. She thought it was part of his natural development. However, after a few days, the minor confesses that he had fought with his friend and that the friend began to hurt him. From that moment, the mother paid much more attention to everything that her son said and lived. Despite him knowing this house completely, he was fearful and did not want to be alone at any time, something that had never happened before. The little one was afraid of every corner. Do you know what the worst thing is? This house is the woman's workplace. She works at a funeral home. They allowed her to take her son, so she almost always does. She recorded this to explain to her friends and psychologists that when trying to go down the stairs with her little one, he was refusing and completely terrified.
Nobody gonna get you. Come on. Come on. This is acting real scared. Come on. You gotta keep you serious down here. Come on. Come on. Let's go about this. We gonna go the other way. Come on. No, come on. You don't like it here? Come on, baby. Here, let me hold you. Come on. Come on. Here, let me get your hand. You don't wipe your hair, do you? Really? This is my job. We at the funeral home. And the baby do not like it here. You see something in the closet? He real stiff. My baby do not like it here. I'm gonna take you home. He do not like it here. He's scared. He's terrified. See him? He's terrified. I think he's... What's going on, girl? Yeah, I'm gonna set him right now. I'm gonna work.
The boy's face perfectly reflects the fear that he felt at the moment. Look at his gaze, and tell me if that can be triggered by his imagination. The child simply refuses to continue walking, and to the mother's surprise, he even goes back to climb the stairs again. From this experience, the woman is convinced that his supposed imaginary friend could be the spirit of someone who was trapped in this place. A creepy place where daily the mortal remains of people arrive before giving them their last goodbye. A place full of sadness, despair, and desolation. An ideal place for a being not of this world to make an appearance here. Remember that we have always talked about it. Demons or evil entities that often take advantage of highly sentimental targets. Therefore, when an apparition begins to hurt and terrify, it does not mean that it is that person who has come from beyond, but more of a questionable entity that has taken its shape to make itself present. Theories that, if true, now targeted this little boy. Something that only he can fear. Undoubtedly, the most precious thing that a person can give in their life is the well-being of their children, especially if they are still babies. And just thinking that someone or something is disturbing their normal development can cause enormous anguish. A feeling that Jade Yachts, an Australian, knows all too well. One day she began to review the recordings of a security camera that she had installed in the nursery. Since the baby woke up crying in the early hours of the morning. Put yourself in their shoes and tell me what will cross your mind if being alone with your child, you witnessed this. flatly rules out that this video is manipulated or that the image is defected. She affirms that what is observed on the screen next to her son, who was sleeping in the crib, is an entity that contemplated the little one for a long time before disappearing. Look, it looks like a little being standing right in his crib. In various cultures, it is believed that imaginary friends are a kind of angel, a heavenly presence that accompanies children during their development. What's more is that these beings are believed to bond with children at a very young age. Could we have witnessed the moment when one of these beings chooses his child? If so, why did he wake up crying at night? The video that reaches out to us to descend through the dark alleys of this investigation, we had already shown before. At least part of it. At that time, we did not know its origin. But today, we have the complete story that makes the initial video much more terrifying. Legend Forever is the name of a famous YouTube channel about a family where this man, along with his wife and 3 children, share funny videos of their home life with their followers. However, lately they have been uploading videos outside of their usual theme. Strange manifestations began to happen at the same time that his daughter dramatically commented on her imaginary friend. Worried about what they were going through at that moment, they did not pay attention to what their daughter was telling them, that she could see him and that she could converse with him. Like all good parents, they left her story to be a product of her innocent imagination. Tell me if this corresponds simply to imagination. They had not related the phenomena that occurred around them with the stories that their daughter told them about her imaginary friend. Therefore, when they saw this footage, they had no doubts that the supposed friend was the cause of all the manifestations of which they were being victims. Notice how the ball is pushed towards her almost magically. They assure that there is no manipulation of what you have just seen, that they always leave the camera recording, which in the end gave them the possibility of seeing this disturbing clip. Their audience recommends that they leave the home. What do you think? Could this be proof that imaginary friends could be more real than what was believed? Without a doubt, a video that gives you something to think about. It is not the first time that I have mentioned to you that sometimes children can be magnets for many entities that want to contact with our reality. A girl several weeks ago had been telling her mother that her wish to have a friend had come true. The mother always listened behind the door of the girl's room as she chatted happily with her imaginary friend. However, one night, when repeating this routine, she heard that her daughter was arguing with someone. Even though she kept thinking that her friend was nothing more than her imagination, she still installed a security camera in the room to see how the girl was having fun by herself. She never imagined that her so-called imaginary friend would turn into a haunting reality. Observe. woman could not believe the content of this video. The girl was already afraid of what was under her bed. That night, the mother had heard her argue with her supposed imaginary friend again. When seeing this clip, there are those who say that the girl simply crawled down from the bed. But let's analyze the video a little further. The quality of the camera is not very good, but if you look at it, it does not seem that she bends her knees so she can crawl. The mother did not want to be left with the option that something mysterious was attacking her, so she assumed that her daughter had told her the truth, and that her friend was actually an entity of unknown origin who began to establish a connection with the little girl. I do not know what this woman has done so far, but my recommendation is for her to leave that place.